Welcome, Mr. Manish. So, to start with our conversation, I want to understand, Angel Blue's tagline is invest, educate, and accelerate. Can you walk us through which of these three you believe is the biggest challenge for Indian startup ecosystem today and how Angel Blue is solving that?
Thanks, Shrestha, for inviting me to be a part of this event and to share my views regarding what Angel Blue is all about. To give a perspective as to what Angel Blue is all about, so we basically work on two themes. We work with students. We help them. We work on capacity building. We help them understand the basics of building a startup, right from ideation to design thinking to how do you start a startup. We make them understand what are the different kinds of business models, GTM strategies, MVP, PMF. How do you start a startup in terms of selecting your co-founders? We make them understand what are typically the most important investor expectations, and how do you walk up to a stage and face the jury and pitch your project in maybe 3 to 5 or 7, 8 minutes. Okay, so this is one thing. Secondly, we do a lot of work with the startup founders, early stage founders. We run acceleration programs. We've already finished 2 acceleration programs. We have the 3rd and 4th one going on right now. We do mentoring programs. Again, we run cohorts for 3 to 4 months, and ultimately through our angel network, we have close to about 200 plus angel investors. Through this, we help these startups raise funds. So that is basically what we do, right from ideation. So if I talk about both the themes, students and startup founders, so right from ideation to helping them understand the basics of business, to preparing them for a demo day and helping the startup founders raise funds. So that is the entire journey which we help these startup founders and students cover. So to answer your second question, what do you think is more important? Yes, we focus on 3 themes: invest, educate, accelerate. I think for us, the most important thing that we are working on is educate, because I think on average, we get about 100 plus pitches in a month. 95% of them are all junk, because it's a myth in the market that you start a startup and raise funds and you get famous through Inc. 42 or Your Story. So that's a myth. So this is the myth that we're trying to break. We are helping the students and the startup founders understand what exactly is a startup, focus more on basics. We make them understand that what is more important is clarity of thought. As a founder, what is the core problem that I'm trying to solve? What is the solution? By offering the solution, how do I plan to monetize my concept? How big is the market? Who exactly is my customer? What is the GTM strategy? What game am I playing? Am I playing the price game or the quality game or the feature premium game? So ultimately, by focusing on these aspects, that is what we're trying to do. Funding is just part of the game. So there are other pillars also, because I think from my experience, what I feel is typically there are 5 pillars in any organization. One is funding, obviously, product, distribution, manpower, and processes. So even if one pillar falls down, your building collapses, right? So funding is important, but not the only important thing. This is what the myth that we're trying to break.
Mr. Verma, you mentioned that how you get more than 100 pitches a month, or why. So I want to understand from you, what are those key metrics that really make you feel that, okay, this is what I am looking at in a startup?
I think that's a very interesting and relevant question, because again, this is our experience. Most startup founders, they're not clear as to why are they doing what they're doing. It's become a fad these days. Especially the early stage founders, you launch a startup and you get going. The metrics the parameters which we think are very, very important while evaluating startups is, what is the problem that you're trying to solve? Is it just a plain vanilla idea? So an idea can be unique or it can be copied. That doesn't matter. There are thousands of ideas. You do ChatGPT, they'll give you hazar ideas. But what is more important is the execution. So what exactly is the customer problem that you're trying to solve? Us problem ka what is the solution? How do you plan to monetize that? Who all are the founders? Is it a solo founder or maybe 3 or 4 founders? If there are 3 or 4 founders, do they have complementary skill set? Okay. For example, if there are 4 founders, all techies, who will do the marketing? Who will do the finance? Who will do the operations part? Otherwise, if they're all 3 marketing guys, who will do the coding part? Who will go to the market and raise funds? So it's very important to have, let's say for example, if there are 3 or 4 founders, it's very important to have all these 3 founders to have complementary skill set. Okay. How big is the market? I mean, the concepts of TAM, SAM, SOM is very, very important. Most founders, they tend to ignore that. I don't think that is relevant because for any investor, understanding what the TAM, SAM and SOM is, it is very, very important. So coming back to question, the problem, identification of a problem, if a founder is confused and if he is not able to communicate what the problem is in 30 or 40 seconds, max 1 minute, there is an issue of clarity of thought. So problem, solution, monetization, how big is the market, who are the founders, are there any entry barriers, is there a niche? So these are some of the important aspects that we try and evaluate.
You have mentioned how a lot of startups really focus only on funding and they end up sometimes failing, sometimes not in the right conditions. What key gap do you see which is required to build to break this myth that startup is not just about work?
I think startup is a long run affair. I mean, it's not overnight success. It is once somebody decides to become a startup, he or she needs to be very, very clear why is he or she getting into a startup. Because there's a lot of difference. Because, for example, I spent 20 years in the corporate sector. Before becoming an entrepreneur, I've been a banker for 12 years. Before that, I was in the auto industry. So I worked with the Japanese, worked with the Americans, been a banker. While as a corporate guy, there was a sense of security. Every the 30th or 31st of the month, there used to be a credit in the credit SMS. X amount of salary has been credited. That sense of security is not there while as a startup founder. So as a startup founder, you cannot afford or you cannot expect to start making money right from day one. You need to have perseverance, you need to have patience. It is a long run affair. It is not an overnight thing. So I think patience and perseverance is very, very important. What we've seen is a lot of founders, once they've seen failure, they give up. So ability to bounce back is very, very important. I often say, I think a startup founder is just like any athlete. As an athlete, you're supposed to be flexible, agile, adaptable. One has to change as per the situation. If an entrepreneur doesn't have those skill set, I think he or she is not in the right, he or she is not playing the right game.
Probably TICE is one platform that is filling the gap in some way, and we are closely associated with TICE Chandigarh. And today we are here at TICON Delhi. So I want to understand from you, what are your views, how these platforms like TICE and its different chapters, how they really help the ecosystem?
I think TICE as a platform is very, very important. I think that whosoever started this concept of TICE many years back, I think kudos to that person. I've been a charter member of TICE Chandigarh for many years now. In fact, I was the chairperson for TYE, TICE Young Entrepreneurs. So I was the chairperson for TYE for almost 2 to 3 years. We were ourselves going to different schools and conducting workshops for school students, right from class 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th. It's a very, very interesting and very encouraging experience. Interacting with the youngsters, telling them all about what startups and entrepreneurship are all about. I think the youngsters and the generation of today is very, very lucky that they have platforms like TICE, because the TICE being a totally voluntary organization, none of us are charging anything. It is all a voluntary effort. I think the youngsters, if they want, it's an opportunity in front of them. If somebody is actually serious, they can take advantage of a platform like TICE. They can actually leverage from TICE. So I think in a nutshell, to answer your point, I think TICE as an institution is very, very important. I think kudos to the founders of TICE, and especially I think this is my nth visit to TICON Delhi. TICON Delhi is, I think, poles apart. I've been a member of TICE Chandigarh. TICE Chandigarh has evolved, has come up in a big way. But I think kudos to the management of TICE Delhi for conducting this kind of event. I think hats up to all you guys.